And hello and welcome back to Blake's Den and another video on my Austin Mini Designer. Doing lots of videos on this at the moment because I'm going to try and take the engine out. So I'm just gradually working my way around the engine bay, removing the bits that need to come off. Yeah, let's make a start. In this video, I think I'm going to have a go removing the clutch slave cylinder and get that out of the way. Access is a lot better than it is on my MPI. I've had to do it before on the MPI. I'll put the video up. It was a nightmare. 2 bolts, hold on to there. Then you've got a pipe coming through. All really straightforward, really. What I've done is I've just disconnected this copper pipe, which goes from the reservoir down. That's new. I replaced that because I stole the one off from this for my MPI because mine had broken. I want to take the hose off with it as well. I could just undo this and push it to one side, but I'm going to need it out of the way at some point. So I need to get this big giant nut off here, which looks very seized. So I think I'm going to hit it with some WD-40 and try to get an impact socket on it and see if it'll loosen off. Right, 24 socket feels like a good fit, so oh, no, it's just twisting the pipe now. Well, it's good, but it's loose. But I need something on the underside to stop the pipe from turning as well. So let me go and get a spanner. Right, I've just gone with some mole grips on it now. See whether that will be sufficient. No, it's still just spinning the pipe. I'm going to replace the pipe anyway, but I might as well. I don't want to destroy it. I could just cut it, but sometimes it's best not to cut things, then I can keep this as a spare, and like an emergency spare should I ever need it, or I could use it on the Turner Ranger or anything else A-series I might buy in the future, because you never know what the future is going to bring. So let's try this again. Now, well, possibly. No, I think what's happening is just the mole grips are just slipping off. So what I've decided to do, I'm going to abandon the idea of undoing this pipe at the top, and I'm just going to undo the banjo bolt at the bottom instead. Now, I did a really long video on replacing this slave cylinder on my MPI. And the access on that was like really poor compared to this. And one thing I learned is undo the banjo bolt before you take the assembly out, because sometimes you just can't get it in a position where you can then access it. So it's really fiddly to get in, but it is beginning to turn. It's just like I can get the spanner on it, I can turn it like a few degrees, and then I've got to change the orientation of the spanner. You will get some fluid leakage out of this as well, but I'm kind of prepared for that. I don't mind. I mean, I'm painting the whole thing anyway, so yeah, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, I'm going to keep on working away at this, and then I'll bring it back once that's undone. So accessing to do that pipe is absolutely terrible. I've managed to get the nut slackened off. So what I'm planning on doing now is taking off the bolts which hold the body onto the bracket here, and then I'll be able to pull this around into position to get the rest of the pipe off. So I'm not going to back that one off fully until I've got the other one done. The other one's going to be a bit trickier to get access. I'm going to have to use an extension. So I've got a short extension here. I'll come round from the side, see whether that'll get me in. Okay, I don't think that will. Let me go for a long extension. See whether that works. Nearly. Knocking my light here so you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, yep, that's on. Nope, it just cammed off straight away. I must not have had it on quite right. I think one of the problems is this dodgy looped around brake pipe here. It's kind of in the way, but just see if I just move that out the way a bit, because it's all getting replaced anyway, so let's not worry too much about that. Right, let's try again. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's just got it or whether it's just slipping. So, right, I'm going to work away on that. I'll bring you back once I've got some progress. I got that bolt out in the end. I did lose the washer, but you can see how corroded it is. I ended up having to use a universal joint on this, which has kind of got a bit of a wobble on it as well, this extension. So yeah, it was difficult, but we got it done. So now this should lift out. Let me get the camera in a better position. Now that assembly should be loose, so we can pull it back and the rod comes out, and then it kind of, yeah, that stays on the clutch arm mechanism. Hoping I can get this out. Right, okay, that's good. So if you were just taking your engine out, you could just then push this to one side. But of course I'm doing a bit of a proper job and tidying all this up, and I'll be cleaning this up as well. So what I'll do now is I shall pull this round, and I should actually yeah, I can just twist it because I've already loosened off that banjo bolt, I think. And I know, okay, the whole thing's just spinning round. Right, okay, let me get a socket on that and we'll get that undone. Right, I'm hoping that you can see this okay. I've got the socket on the head of a banjo bolt, and I'm just holding the assembly. I'm trying to loosen it off, but everything's just, I thought I had that loosened, cracked off before I got it off. Okay. Right, I'm going to have to find a way to clamp this in a position where I can then put some more torque on this. Let's just try what I did there. Just tried nipping it up a bit, just to see in case it was a little bit seized. Sometimes going tighter helps. Sometimes helps, like break the threads. There we are. So I say there will be some fluid come out of this, but I'm not fussed by that. Steady on. Come on. Right, that's pretty much loose now. Just do the rest of it with my fingers. Ta-da! One clutch slave cylinder removed. Just pulled the boot off the end, it's rubber boot, and it's full of corrosion. It's obviously not moved in some time. You can get rebuild kits of these. I probably will end up just rebuilding it, I think. I've no reason to doubt its functionality. It's certainly no seepage around it, and it's just really just gone all corroded due to a lack of use. So but let me see if I shoot some compressed air down here. Let me see what happens to that piston. So I've just shot a bit of oil down the bore here, just to clean it out a bit and just to give it a fighting chance so it doesn't wreck it when it comes out, and let's see what happens. apply some air pressure. Okay, I need a better seal than that. Get another air gun. Okay, so let's try this different air gun. See if this gets a better seal. Not really. What's you do for stick an O-ring on it or something? I just want to see if I can fire that out and see what kind of condition it's in. Let me fabricate something up. Right, I've pushed an O-ring down there now, so hopefully this will seal up better. See if I can get this to fire out. I can feel the pressure building up. Don't think it's moving. That was the airline. I have no idea where the O-ring's just gone to. Oh, it's just down there. Yeah, that might be seized a bit solid, that actually. That should have really come out with that much air pressure on it. I think I'll leave it soaking in some oil a bit for a few days and we'll see what happens. Just try it one more time. No. Definitely air pressure there, but it doesn't want to move. So we're getting there slowly now. I'm just going to leave that pipe on for now. If you were doing this yourself and you had to get it done this weekend, needed the car for Monday morning, what I would just do, I would just cut that pipe and then I'd put a long reach socket on from below to grab it. But I don't really want to cut it. I could probably use it as a spare. So I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is try and get this air vent out the way, and that's just another thing off the list to do. So I think you're just a case of pulling it through the hole. I don't think it's got any fasteners on the other side. In fact, I can see the other side here. So let me put you down. Hopefully you can see that, and hopefully I won't knock you off. So what this does is it just ducts from the grill up to the driver's side air vent. There's a should be like a corrugated pipe which goes through the wheel arch. That takes you up to the fresh air vent on the other side. So yeah, it's quite a fiddly thing to get out. Let's see if it'll withdraw and then. The problem I've got is it's catching on the back of the horn now. The horn does need to come off, but for now I'll just bend it out of the way. Don't say you need to take the coil off. Oops. Yeah, that's still quite a long way from coming through that gap, really. Yeah, I think the coil might have to come off, or at least be turned out the way. So I'll just quickly do that now. So I'm just undoing the top bolt here for the coil, which is a 1/2 inch bolt. So what I'm hoping is with that out the way, try not to lose all the washers. Let me put that down. Can I then rotate this? No, I'm going to have to slacken off the bottom one as well, which is a bit tricky because it's well, the horn's in the way. I'm just going to take the horn off now because it's got to come off anyway. It's two tiny little I don't know if you can see that, two tiny little nuts all on. So let me take the horn off first and then we'll go from there. So just undoing the two little nuts, which are 5/16. And it's very over-engineered just for a horn. But of course, now I've moved that along, I can't get my spanner in, so I'll move it back. They weren't super tight. I was expecting them to be really badly corroded, but they're not. on there, pull the horn off. Now the horn should have a wire going to it, which is that one there. So I will do my usual thing and I'll label that wire up saying horn. And there's the horn assembly. Right, now let's see if we can get this bottom coil. See if we can get this bottom coil bolt slightly loose. That's a bit better. We can get in now. It's actually going to go for 2 extensions here, because one extension places it sort of right on the front of the car. So 2 extensions. Hey presto. So can that move out the way now? I tell you what, let's just take the whole thing off, Gareth. Didn't really want to take it off because it's just more things to lose, really. But I've not lost anything yet, other than my marbles doing this. Right. Mental note, when putting this back together, put the duct in first. Refitting is the reversal of removal, as Haynes eloquently puts it. Right, so that's out the way. Pull that out the way and we'll just push it up there for now. Now we should be able to get this out. It still don't want to come really. Twist it a bit. Oop, doesn't sound good. There we are. Ta-da! Cool. Right. Oh, you can see the repair patch I did down there. Oh, doesn't look too bad actually. Good. Right. That's probably it for now. So I think that's about all I'm going to do in this video, and probably about all I need to do on the top side as well. Alternator to come off, dizzy cap to come off. That's fairly straightforward. Just unclip the dizzy cap, 3 bolts of the alternator. Bits I still need to disconnect: gear rod linkage underneath, drive shafts, and speedo drive, which comes up. Where's the speedo drive gone? Is it that one? No. Where did it go? I saw it the other day. That one. That needs undoing from below, so I think I'll probably get my lift under it and lift it up to do the bits underneath. Then probably back on its wheels, or at least as low as it'll go. I'll see if I can get my engine crane in this gap. See if my engine crane still works. I can always roll the Mini back a bit as well, and then we'll get the engine out. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, press that like button below. Please consider subscribing to the channel as well. It costs you nothing. Also, if you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below. I respond to all of my comments. So once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.